Education in the Philippines has developed through numerous stages, beginning with pre-Spanish and continuing to the present. This topic discusses the different approaches to education throughout different periods in the Philippines. The education during pre-Spanish or pre-Magellanic times, the education was informal, unstructured, and devoid methods. Education was practical, hands-on, and oral. Focus more on vocational training. The main goal was to encourage respect and admiration for Bathala, as well as for the laws, customs, and authority which were represented by parents and elders of the tribes. The children educators are their parents and the tribal tutors. The education during the Spanish colonial era from 1521 to 1898. In this era, the friars replaced the tribal tutors. The friars established parochial schools linked with churches to teach catechism to the natives. The dialect was used for instruction. The friars supervised, directed, and managed education. The nation's educational system was inconsistent. There were no grade levels because of educational system was neither structured nor hierarchical. Lack of funding and educational resources, as well as shortage of qualified educators, are the main issues in education in this period. These are the subjects based on Royal Decree of 1863. During Philippine Revolution in 1898, schools maintained by Spain were reopened on August 29, 1898. Elustrados spearheaded the propaganda movement. Jose Rizal openly criticized the friars' pedagogical approach in his two books, The Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. The Ilustrados propaganda movement pleaded for curricular reforms. The next period is American colonial era from 1898 to 1946. The first teachers in this era are the American soldiers, later replaced by 600 teachers from US called Thomasites. English is the medium of instruction. American discarded the religious bias. The Educational Act of 1901, the law that separated church and state in education. The Commonwealth period during 1935 to 1942. Free education in public schools was provided all over the country, in accordance with the 1935 Constitution. All schools should develop moral character, personal discipline, civic conscience, and vocational efficiency. Promote effective participation of the citizen in the process of democratic society. Vocational education was also prioritized, as were various household tasks including gardening, cooking, and sewing. Additionally, education placed a strong emphasis on nationalism, teaching students about the lives of Filipino heroes. The students were also taught discipline and good manners. Educational Act of 1940 met the increasing demand for public instruction, and at the same time comply with constitutional mandate on public education. To observe private schools, the Institute of Private Education was founded. Executive Order No. 134 of 1936 was signed by President Manuel L. Quezon, designating Tagalog as our national language. Executive Order No. 217, otherwise known as Quezon Code of Ethics, was taught in schools. Executive Order No. 263 in 1940 required the teaching of the Filipino national language in the senior year of all high schools and in all years in normal schools. The Education Act of 1940 was approved by the Philippine Assembly on August 7, 1940, which provided the following: reduction of the 7-year elementary course to 6 years, fixing the school entrance age at 7, and national support for elementary education. Japanese occupation have 6 basic principles of Japanese education. 1. Realization of new order and promote friendly relations between Japan and the Philippines to the farthest extent. 2. Foster a new Filipino culture base. 3. Endeavor to elevate the morals of people, giving up overemphasis of materialism. 4. Diffusion of the Japanese language in the Philippines. 5. Promotion of vocational course. 6. To inspire people with the spirit to love neighbor. The changes in the curriculum during the Japanese occupation. School calendar become longer. No summer vacation for students. Class size increased to 60. Deleted anti-Asian opinions. Banned the singing of American songs. Deleted American symbols, poems, and pictures.
The history of the Philippine educational management system is a journey from centralized colonial control to modern, decentralized governance. Each change in the name and law represent a shift in how the governance or government prioritize the role of schools in nation building. Post-independence era. In 1946 to the present, this era represents the Philippines taking full ownership of its educational destiny. Its nature continuous evolution since 1946. This system has not been static, it has constantly adjusted to match global standard like the shift to K-12 and the local socio-economic needs like the focus on vocational skills or digital literacy. Establishment of the trifocal system. This was a massive administrative unbundling in the early 1990s. The government realized that managing everything from kindergarten to PhDs and plumbing courses was too much for the agency. They split the responsibility into three: DepEd or the basic education, CHED, higher education, TESDA, the technical and vocational training. In the under Republic Act 19 Under Republic Act 9155, the Governance of Basic Educational Act of 2001. This the most critical modern law of the teacher, and it changed the name from DECS, Depth, Depth of Educational Culture and Sports, to DepEd. More importantly, it established school-based management, BS or SBM, meaning the heart of the system now the school, not the central office in Manila. 2. Evolution of the management structure. The name change of the governing body are reflection of the political era the country was in the time, like the Colonial Foundation Superior Commission of the Instruction on 1863 established by the Spanish. This was the first time education was organized at a nation level. 2. It was heavily influenced by the church. The second one is the Department of Public Instruction in 1901, created by the Americans, Act number 74. This replaced the religious or Spanish education in a secular, English-based system and brought in the Thomasites, the American teachers. The third is war and post-war transitions. Depth of Education, Health, and Public Welfare 1942. During the Japanese occupation, education was restricted to emphasize Asian identity and eliminate Western influence. In post-war adjustment 1945 to 1947, the name shifted rapidly instruction and information, then just instruction as the country struggled to rebuild classroom destroyed will in World War II. By the 1947, sorry for my wrong information, it settled as the Department of Education. The next is the martial law and the ministry era. Depth of Education and Culture 1975 added culture to emphasize nation or national identity. Ministry of Education and Culture in 1978 under the parliamentary system of Marcos administration. Departments were called ministries. Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sports in 1984 added sports to the mandate to promote physical fitness and national athlete development. The return to democracy and modernization. In the CES 1987, after EDSA revolution, the 1987 Constitution reverted the ministry back to a department. DepEd in 2001, under Republic Act 9155, culture and sports were largely transferred to other agencies like the NCCA and the Philippine Sports Commission, so that the department could focus exclusively on its core mission. Education summary table named change and contents year. In the 1863, the Superior Commission, the Spanish Decree. In 1901, the depth of public instruction in American occupation. In 1942, depth of education held in Japanese occupation. In 1978, Ministry of Education and Culture shift to parliamentary government in the martial law or in Marcos administration. In 2001, Department of Education or DepEd in Republic Act 9155 or the decentralization.
Alamin naman po natin ngayon ang modern trifocal education system ng Pilipinas na siya rin pong kasalukuyan estruktura ng ating sistemang pang-edukasyon magpasa hanggang ngayon. So, ang trifocal education system po ay naitatag noong 1990 bilang tugon po sa mga suliranin ng edukasyon na natukoy po ng mga EDCOM or Education Commission. Napag-alaman po kasi noon na nagiging magulo at hindi efficient ang pamamahala po pagdating sa education po natin. Dahil sa iisa lamang po ang ahensya ang nangangasiwa sa lahat ng antas na meron po ang ating edukasyon. Dahil po dito nagsuggest po sila or iminungkahi po nila na hatiin sa tatlong sistema upang mas maging malinaw po at mas mabigyan ng focus ang bawat edukasyon po na meron po tayo. So, ito po ay hinati sa DepEd. Una po ay DepEd, CHED at TESDA. Ang unahin po natin ang Department of Education or tinatawag nating DepEd. Ang DepEd po sa ilalim ng trifocal system, ang Department of Education o DepEd ay muling nakatuon lamang sa basic education. Kasama po rito yung mga elementary, secondary, or yung mga high school na tinatawag at non-formal education. Pati na rin po ang mga programong may kaugnayan sa kultura at palakasan. Ang pangunahing layunin po ng DepEd ay mabigyan ng ang mga batang nasa edad ng pag-aaral at mga kabataan ng sapat na kaalaman, kasanayan at pagpapahalaga. Layunin po nito na hubugin ang mga mag-aaral upang sila ay maging maalaga sa kapwa, may sariling kakayahan, produktibo at makabayang mamamayan. Isang mahalagang reforma po sa DepEd ang Republic Act No. 9155 o ang Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001. Sa ilalim ng batas na ito, pinalakas po ang kapangyarihan ng school heads o punong guro at ipinatupad ang school-based management na ibig sabihin po ay mas binibigyang kalayaan ang mga paaralan na magdesisyon batay po sa kanilang pangangailangan upang mas mapabuti ang kalidad ng education. So dito po sa DepEd, nakafocus na po siya sa mga elementary, sa mga high school students po natin o mga non-formal education po natin. Nasa gayon po, dito po parang sinasanay pa lang, mas kumbaga po hinuhubog pa lamang po ang mga mag-aaral. So doon po sila naka-focus. And next naman po ay ang TESDA or Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. Tinatawag nating TESDA po. Ito po yung nangangasiwa sa post-secondary and middle level manpower training, particular po sa mga non-degree technical vocational programs. Layunin po ng TESDA na ihanda ang mga Pilipino sa agarang pagpasok sa trabaho, pagnenegosyo at paglinang sa mga kasanayang tumutugon sa pangangailangan ng industriya. Ang mga programang inaalok po nito ay nakatuon sa practical at hands-on na pagsasanay tulad po ng welding, caregiving, automotive, servicing at iba pa. So dito po sa TESDA, itinatag po sa ilalim ng Republic Act No. 7796 noong 1994 na naglalayong mapaunlad ang lakas paggawa ng bansa at makatulong sa pagbawas ng kawalan sa trabaho. So dito po sa TESDA, ang usually po na mga nagte-take po nito yung mga tao po or yung mga taong hindi po nakapag-aral noon or yung mga tao pong gusto pang mag-aral po ng mga, or kung nakayari man po sila, gusto nila kumuha pa ng karagdagan po nilang kaalaman, kumukuha po sila sa TESDA, which is kagaya ko po, ako po ay kumuha ng bread and pastry para po mas matuto, or pwede ko po itong gawin na kung saan pwede ko siyang maging business, at yun naman din po yung nangyari sa akin, na kung saan nagamit ko po yung pag-aaral ko po sa TESDA, which is yung sa bread and pastry, para po magkaroon noon ng maliit na business po. At dito po, layunin po ng TESDA na matulungan po ang bawat mamamayan ng matuto po sa mga trabaho po na libre po, natututunan po ng mga tao ng libre at wala pong kinakailangan na bayad upang mapaunlad po ang mga mamamayan at mabawasan nga po yung mga taong walang trabaho. So, yun po, pinoprovide na po ng TESDA yung mga pangangailangan po natin. Kaya kung sino po yung mga may gusto at walang trabaho na naghahanap po ng kanilang maaring pasukan or pagkunan ng kaalaman kung paano po magsimula, ay maaari pong pumasok sa TESDA. So, pagdating naman po sa CHED natin, which is Commission on Higher Education, ito na po yung, ang sakop naman na po nito is yung mga college students. Ngayon naman po, tatalakayin natin ang Commission on Higher Education o CHED, na isa rin pong mahalagang bahagi ng Trifocal Education System. Ang CHED po ay ahensyang nangangasiwa sa higher education sa Pilipinas. Ito po ay tinatag sa ilalim ng Republic Act No. 7722 noong 1994 sa ilalim po ng Trifocal System. Inalis sa dating Department of Education ang pamamahala sa kolehiyo at universidad at inilipat ito sa CHED upang mas matutukan ang pagpapaunlad ng edukasyong pang-kolehiyo. So dito nga po, nabanggit ko nga po kanina na hinati po dahil noon nga po parang magkakasama lang po lahat sa iisang ahensya ang lahat po ng mga antas po na meron tayo, maging mapa-elementary man po, mapa-high school or mapa-college students ay dati po nasa iisang ahensya lamang. Kaya ang ginawa po ng mga Education Commission na nung napansin po nila na nagkakaroon po ng konting conflict at hindi po ganun kaayos yung pamamaraan, ay hinati po nila sa tatlo. Kaya po nagkaroon ng DepEd, nagkaroon ng CHED, which is sa CHED po, mas na-focusan na po dito yung mga college students, kung saan po sila po yung namamahala sa mga university or sa mga university at mga college or mga private school po na ng pangkolehiyo. Dito rin po ang mandato po ng CHED ay pangasiwaan ng mga state university and college, local universities and college at mga pribadong higher education institution, at tinitiyak po ng CHED na ang mga kursong inaalok po sa mga kolehiyo at universidad ay tumutugon sa mamantayang pang-academic po at pangangailangan ng isang bansa. Layunin po ng CHED na mapaunlad ang kalidad ng higher education sa Pilipinas sa pamamagitan po ng pagtiyak ng academic standards, pagsuporta sa research at innovation at paghahanda sa mga mag-aaral para po sa profession at pandaigdigan competition. So dito po kasi sa CHED, kumbaga dito na po pumapasok kung saan namimili na po kung anong pong profession at kung ano pong kurso ang kukuhanin ng mga mag-aaral po natin sa kolehiyo. Kagaya po namin, pinili po namin ay BEd, which is education po, na kung saan dito po sa may PUP or dito sa ang PUP po ay sakop ng CHED po natin. So dito po hinuhubog po kami bilang, or pinuhubog po tayo bilang upang mas maging matuto or upang mas maging magaling na guro balang araw. So dito na po, kung dito po pumapasok na talagang pinofokusan lamang po ng CHED ang mga college students. So, sa kabuuan po nito, ang modern trifocal education system sa isang mahalagang reforma sa edukasyon ng Pilipinas sa pamamagitan ng malinaw na paghahati-hati ng tungkulin ng DepEd, CHED at TESDA. Naging mas organisado at efficient ang pamamahala sa edukasyon. Pinapakita nito ang pagtuloy na pagsisikap ng pamahalaan na mapabuti ang kalidad ng edukasyon at maihanda ang mamamayang Pilipino sa mga hamon ng makabagong panahon. So, yun lamang po. Again po, ulitin ko lang po, ito po ay hinati sa tatlo, sa DepEd, sa CHED, at saka sa TESDA. Yun lamang po at maraming salamat.
Commission on Higher Education, CHED. CHED was created to ensure that college-level education meets global standards. Its mandate is responsible for higher education, supervising tertiary degree programs, begins where school ends. They oversee all public and private higher education institutions and degree-granting programs. RA 7722, 1994 passed in 1994, the Higher Education Act officially separated tertiary education from the Department of Education. This allowed a specialized body to focus solely on professional, specialized training, and research. DepEd organizational structure are the brain. The current Department of Education, DepEd, is organized in two major structural components: the Central Office and the Field Office. Central Office maintains overall administration of basic education at the national level. It has 4 undersecretaries and 4 assistant secretaries. Covering curriculum and instruction, we have the K-12 curriculum, which is the guide of the teacher. Finance and administration, they handle the massive budget, teacher salaries, and the hiring of personnel. Governance and operation, they look at the big picture of how schools are run and ensure that policy are being implemented on the ground. Legal and legislative affairs, they handle the rules of the game, dealing with contracts, laws, and protecting the right of both students and teachers. It's run under the Office of the Secretary. OSEC includes the 4 areas above, plus strategic management. Directly under the Secretary, this group looks at long-term goals. For example, where does Philippine education need to be in 10 or 20 years?
DepEd Field Office or the Field Office, the body. Because the Philippines is an archipelago, the central office cannot manage every single classroom. The system decentralized into layers. 17 regional office plus ARMM. These are the provincial hubs, each headed by the regional director. They translate national policy into plans that fit their specific region, culture, and needs. And the ARMM is transitioned to the BARM, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, which has its own Ministry of Basic Higher and Technical Education and BHTE, but still coordinates with the national offices. 221 provincial and city school division led by a superintendent. This is often the most critical level of management. They are responsible for specific city or province, managing the actual hiring and resource distribution for the school in that area. 2,602 school district. This acts as a bridge between the division and the school. They provide professional supervision to principal and ensure that the school in a specific neighborhood or town are performing well. 62,605 school, elementary and secondary. You may also ask why this structure matters. This hierarchy is designed so that a teacher in a remote village has a clear line of support. For example, the teacher reports to the principal to the district supervisor for guidance. The district gets resources from division. The division follows the region's strategy. The region implements the central office national standards.